But the ones I actually built from the Leviathan box, for whatever reason, I had 32mm bases in the box, so these are actually on the wrong bases, which means these guys, that's going to bother me. 23rd of June 2023. The Leviathan box set for Warhammer 40k is here, and boy were we all excited for brand new Terminators. And look at them, very demure, very mindful, very cutesy. No, but seriously, look at them, majestic, resplendent, blue, but missing the red fists, just mwah, chef's kiss appealing. However, there is a whole other side to the Leviathan box. A deeper side, a darker side, a side that's mostly purple and covered in uwu glue.
Please note, uwu glue is beyond my skill level. This video will feature exactly 0 grams of uwu glue. Void Space Alpha makes no claim to using uwu glue or any similar product. For that, please see better YouTubers.
Now, sometimes all it takes is one spore, one tiny infection to start a cascade of tyrannic infection that can blight entire systems with no option but exterminatus, and I regret to inform Imperial record keepers that over the last 18 months or so, this rot has spread. Time to do something about it. Well, one of the first things I'm going to need to do is clear a space to actually put all of this stuff, so let's use this section of my desk with a spare computer on it. And there we go. I actually have, I was going to say a clean bit of desk then, but it's very far from that. Well, I think it's been windy because everything's on the floor. But there's definitely some more Tyranids in here somewhere, so let's find them. This was obviously the box that I put all my big models in, and some bits. There's a Sanguinius there. Yeah, that's not the best paint job in the world, but it is a Sanguinius. But saying that, there's at least 2 Tyranid models in here. One that's been broken, is that he's going to have to get repaired, and then I have get off, there we go. I've got this fella as well.
5 minutes later.
There we go. That is a Leviathan box. Now it is 1000% worth pointing out that I don't know what any of this stuff is. I don't know what that's called, I don't know what that's called, I don't even know if you know what it's called. You can probably comment and let me know. Right, so I've got 2 boxes of Tyranids, a start collecting and a combat patrol. Let's see what else we can find. When it comes to mass building models, there's basically 2 approaches. Method 1, follow the instructions step by step, scrape off the mold lines, snip sprue tabs, glue pieces together, turn the page and repeat until it's done. Or method 2, go rogue, clip all the bits at once, then it's time to play grown-up version of analog puzzle games, except when you accidentally glue the wrong piece, you'll probably get frustrated, take a break, make a cup of tea and have a strop. Method 1 is perfect for larger, more complex models, while method 2 is great for squads with a clear assembly process like Space Marines. Legs, body, weapon, backpack, head, that kind of thing. Oh, and did I mention I want to get this done by Christmas? That's my goal. No matter what, I'm pushing to have everything finished by Christmas. It's ambitious, but hey, deadlines keep us motivated. I realise a lot of people might be triggered because I tried doing this. I tried to assemble them one at a time. The lighting is dreadful, I'm so sorry. But that was taking too long, so I just cut out, what is that, 40... What are these things even called? Termagants. 30 odd Termagants, maybe 40 odd Termagants. Well, there's 4 built there, and there's 42 in the boxes. That's like 38 Termagant bodies and legs that now need gluing together. So yeah, let's get on with that, I guess. So it's coming up to the end of, I don't even know if I'm in frame here, but it's coming up to the end of day 3 of building, and yeah, I've made some decisions, and I think the decision is that I'm going to stop building in a minute. So we've actually got all the big stuff done, and we've got all the Termagants, Hormagants, whatever they are, Von Ryan's Leapers, the Warriors and stuff like that. We've got 3 Ripper Swarms. We've actually got 36 Termagants, Hormagants, what are they? Yeah, I don't actually know which the right ones are with guns. Anyways, there's another 20 here, which annoyingly I'm going to have to Amazon Prime some bases because I'm missing 1 base for this guy. So that's 19. Plus him, I don't think I'm going to build the Gene Stealer Colts box. It's not It's not Gene Stealer Colts actually per se, it's actually Start Collecting Tyranids, but it's got mostly Gene Stealers in there, so I don't think I'm going to build that box. But I am going to build these 2 Combat Patrol books that I got, which have some barb gaunts in them, I think. So I've got, what's this, I think 20 Neuro Gaunts left to build, plus these barb gaunts, yeah. And that's going to be the army, and we'll actually start painting, so yeah. So I've just made, whilst organising the miniatures, look at that, that's everything we've built over the last couple of days. I've just made a discovery though, whilst getting out these 6, which are the 6 extra termagants or hormagaunts or whatever the shooty ones are called, the 6 extra ones from the Leviathan box. I've just realised that they should be on 28mm bases, which these ones are, and we can absolutely do something with those. But the ones I actually built from the Leviathan box, for whatever reason, I had 32mm bases in the box, so these are actually on the wrong bases, which means these guys, that's going to bother me. I'm going to have to very carefully cut them all off of their bases and go to the hobby shop tomorrow and pray that they have enough at 28mm bases. That's a problem. Hopefully we can fix it. So I'm almost done priming actually. I still don't have the 28mm bases for these guys, but I did have to go uptown and do some Christmas shopping with the wife. May have accidentally come back with 2 issue 15s of the Combat Patrol, which have, they've got one of these guys in them. Let's have a look at this guy. So now I'm going to have 3 of these. I don't know if you can field 3 of these. I don't know if that's a thing, but now I own them. So I'll be building those as well. I've got 2 brushes here, a primed model, which has been primed just in pretty much a standard white. Any white primer will do for this. I'm talking like this is a tutorial, but I actually have no idea how this is going to turn out. Whilst I've been building and assembling, I've been watching a load of painting tutorials and just stealing people's schemes and ideas and ways to do things. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to grab my shade brush here, brand new shade brush. We're going to grab some Agrax Earth shade, and I'm just going to give, oh, it's dangerous opening a shade paint, isn't it? Could just go everywhere. I'm just going to give this model, and I would usually do these in batch painting, but I'm painting one to see if I like this scheme, and I'm going to give this model an all-over coat of Agrax Earthshade. Right, well that is the wash of Agrax Earthshade on, and you know what, I think I should have watered it down a bit because it's a lot darker than I was expecting, but we're kind of using this as like, what's it called, slap chop, like that, but it's like a reverse slap chop, like we've got all the dark areas now, are all shaded in, and yeah, so next paint is going to be, and I'll measure this with a pipette when it actually comes time to doing it, but we're going to go 1 part Vulpus Pink. So we'll just load up a brush worth on there like that. There we go. 1 part Magos Purple, or Magos Purple, however you say it. And we'll get that in here as well. We'll mix them together. And I think that's going to be quite stark. And I'm going to put in 1 part contrast medium just to thin it down and make it go a little bit further. So let's get that in there. Now this is going to be the colour. In the grim darkness of the far future, there's something worse than death. Meet the Tyranids, the galaxy's ultimate eating machines. Imagine a swarm of nightmarish alien bugs with one goal: devour everything. Planets gone, cities gobbled up, even your hopes and dreams, yeah, they'll probably eat those too. Controlled by the all-powerful hive mind, the Tyranids are an unstoppable, ever-evolving plague that doesn't need guns or machines. They are the weapons. From tiny flesh-eating critters to skyscraper-sized monsters, they don't just fight, they consume. The Tyranids aren't here to make friends. They're here to leave the galaxy a lifeless husk. So grab your lasguns and hope the Emperor's watching, because the swarm is coming, and it's always hungry. And we can see, now that that Magos Purple Vulpus Pink combination has dried, that we've got quite an interesting colour to the underside, of our carapace, like the fleshy sort of bodily area of it. And I think I'm actually okay with the the mixture there. I think it's It looked a lot thinner going on than it actually is, but I'm all right with that. Cool, right. Anyways, now we're going to want to jump into our Thalasar blue. Is going to be the colour for our carapace here. Anyways, I'm switching down to a medium layer brush here, GW medium layer brush. Other brushes are available, but this is the one that I'm going to use. I'm just going to use it neat out of the pot, just thinning it down. So you can see here, I just got a piece down here onto the body. I can just get some water on my brush, moisten my brush a little bit and just wick it away from there. There we are. Anyways, I'm just going to go around now tracing the entirety of the carapace, and we'll come back and see what that looks like. Do you know what? I'm actually already kind of falling in love with this as it's going on, and it's not even dry yet. That's a bit of a good signal, I think. There's that little bit of carapace in the front of him, right directly in the center there, which I should be able to touch in if I just poked blue paint all over his chest because I slipped. So let's just do the old water trick and wick that up. Wipe it on a paper towel, water, wipe it up. There we go, it's all gone. Let's try that bit again. Well, yeah, let's let that dry. Let's see what it looks like in a moment. Next thing that we're going to need is going to be some Black Templar. So let's grab some Black Templar. I'm going to stick with the small brush on this one. In fact, I'm going to put my Black Templar right there because I just want to get just the smallest amount of it. Nice and, you know, thick enough to hold the pigment, but thin enough on the brush to actually go on. And what we're going to do with the Black Templar is we're just going to touch in all of the claws and the hooves and the eye sockets. So yeah, I'm doing a terrible job. And lastly, with the Black Templar, what you want to do is get a really clean brush and just pick up just a fraction of it on the tip of that brush. And I'm thinking that we're going to base coat these eyes in Black Templar, and I'm so sorry that I'm going to be terrible at getting this on camera. I just want to drop a little bit into the eye socket, which you can't even see there, which is something that I then may only do on the larger models. But it'll just give a little bit of extra interest and definition. Now the black has dried, we can see those little black claws everywhere on that model. And yeah, I think that just makes it a little bit more visually interesting. So yeah, that looks good. You might need to do 1 or 2 coats. In fact, I can just see a little piece here that hasn't dried, or is dried and kind of retracted. So yeah, come back for a second coat if you need to. So I'm going to go for a Army Painter spaceship exterior, just like an off-white. Let's just chuck. Not going to need much of that. I think we'll just be able to just drag it across the top of the teeth. Stage done. It's a very easy stage on the teeth. Now I'm going to get rid of my brush and grab one of these, a cocktail stick, a toothpick, whatever you call them, and I'm going to grab some well, any dark blue would do really, I think, for this, for what I'm thinking, but some Prussian dark blue by Vallejo. I'm going to put a little drop of it over here. I don't envision needing much of this actually, because all I'm going to do, move those out of the way. So I'm just going to get some on a toothpick, and I think I'm just going to drop in there we go. Right, well, I think that's an adequate number of dots. What do you think? I think these are going to look quite smart, actually. So yeah, I'm going to let that dry. And I'm literally rinsing a toothpick. What's wrong with me? Yeah, cool. Let's let that dry, get some sterling mud, and we'll carry on. I've just brought this guy back from the radiator, and you can see it's just a little bit ever so streaky. So I am going to, with a slightly damp brush, just give him a second coat. Right, he's had some drying time now, which has allowed the base rim to dry quite dark. And I think, again, this is my test model, but I think we're ready to do the last paint before we chuck some basing material on, which is going to be, it's one that we've used already, it's just going to be some Agrax Earthshade. I'm just going to chuck it all over the base. So yeah, let's make that happen. Now it's down to basing, right? So I've got these, which are going to go on every miniature. These just these dead grass tufts. These are the light green XL. I might actually have to chop a couple of them down to go on the smaller ones, but that's fine. I've got two different types of these tiny purple flowers, alien purple, tiny alien purple, and they're the same SKU code, they're the same thing, but they're quite clearly different colours. Right, this one's got like a pinkish highlight, which I quite like. So I'm going to do one of each of these on the base and one of these, right? Now, I know that people use PVA glue for this, but I like gel super glue because it is just easier to apply and it doesn't come off. So I'm thinking the first one is going to go there. And do you know what would have been really useful? Is some tweezers. So yeah, now I'm going to have to fiddle around with this bit. There we go. Oh dude, yeah, I've got to go get some tweezers. Hang on, bear with me. I have successfully stolen some makeup tweezers, whatever these are, from my wife.
This is my wife!
So yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Maybe I can just very gently now pick up one of these tufts, drop it into place, and drop it down. There we are, there's the first one. And now, I'm not going to put the super glue on straight away, but I want to see what the size is like for these big uns. If I chucked that in there, yeah, that would be ridiculously large. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go see if I've got any smaller ones, like dead grassy colour, and then we'll be back. So I do not have any smaller ones, but what I do have is, yes, so I don't have any smaller ones, but what I'm just going to do is grab that with the tweezers and use my old snippies just to chop it into like a rough half shape. Is that gonna allow me to cut it? God, this is gonna take days if I have to do this for every single one. Oh, they kind of pull apart anyway. Okay, so can I like reshape that? Just put a little bit of super glue on there. And then I think I'm going to go down like that, really hammer that in, spread it like so. Yep, dude, that is, I was about to say that's a finished model. It's not a finished model because it needs varnishing. Just imagine, you know, 100 of these knocking around. I've got 109 more miniatures to do. So, and there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. There is my test model, all varnished. And do you know what? I think I'm right in saying that he didn't need an extra wash. I think that's the right thing to do. I'm pretty okay with the dot pattern. That looks pretty dope. Pretty okay with the black talons. One thing I will change when I go to do these en masse is I probably won't bother dropping the black into the eyes for all the smaller models. Might do it in the larger models. Yeah, I'm okay with that, you know. I'm really actually quite impressed with myself, if that's fair to say. I know this isn't the best painting in the world, but it's really good painting for me, and I'm okay with that.
2,000 years later.
Let me break some bad news to you. I don't really enjoy building Warhammer. I'm not a big fan of painting it either. In a hobby that's largely about building and painting, I'd say those are my least favourite things. But here's the thing. That doesn't mean I don't love Warhammer. And if you're like me, maybe a bit of a rubbish painter with no real kit bashing skills, that doesn't have to take away from your enjoyment. For me, the real magic comes from the lore. The books, the stories, the models and the hobby side of things, they're just an extension of that universe. And when you do get those rare chances to play a game, it's your opportunity to tell epic stories that exist in this massive shared setting that we all love. Now, I know some people watching this might think, my painting's a bit crap. You're not wrong. Others might say I've missed a few obvious kit bashes. Fair enough. But if you're like me, always remember the goal. Get painted models on the table that you are happy with, so you can tell amazing stories with your friends. And hey, if you're one of those talented folks who thinks my stuff is a bit bland and you want to show off your kit bashing and painting skills, there's a Discord link down below. I'd love to see what you've got. Well, there we are, we're at the end, and I need to ask for a couple of bits of forgiveness, which is mainly that I haven't had time to paint the base rims black, so you'll notice that on the little spinny model videos that I did here. But do you know what, even though this project is technically a fail, I mean, I've got everything painted, but they're not all base rimmed, which is, you know, technically a fail. I think I learnt a lot, and I think the pressure of time can teach you quite a lot. It teaches you the importance of brush control, which I've really enjoyed, and just overall I've really enjoyed getting back into the hobby and painting some stuff myself, which has been brilliant. I've got a couple of games of 40k coming up with a couple of friends, which I'm now really excited about to see how these guys actually play on the tabletop. And inevitably there are some other models that we never got around to building or painting, like the extra 2 psychophages that we purchased, and those hormagaunts that were on the wrong size bases. Their bases only just arrived yesterday. So yeah, look, I really do genuinely hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Popping up on your screens now is some other stuff you can watch of mine. There is a Discord link down below. Please do come and share your projects, because they will be infinitely better than mine, and I'll see you in the next video. And I think it's worth pointing out that if you've got this far into the video and you are genuinely enjoying it, this is something completely new that I'm trying. So please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all of that great stuff that really helps the channel out. And do you know what, if you guys like the Warhammer stuff, I've got a massive pile of opportunity in both my garage and my office. So yeah, I'd be open to painting some more of it.